And, and see, that's what I mean. Tom Sarsen, Jim Riley, Joe Zillig, Harry Race, Bernard LaChance, DJ Dave, Perlita Quinwan, Elton Anderson, Don Wiley, 61 Amphibious Spaceman, GPS Paso Robo Rapist Knight, Red Randy, Red Gordon Ellery, Jim Hall, Bill Laval, Doug King, Steve Jones, Morgans. There might be people more invested into something. So, see, if David Kent warns you people and he ends up all mangled up, and then Phil and me go to San Diego or Concord and him and I get all mangled up and warn you all, then if I come down here and warn you all and I get mangled up, and then if Kimberly holding the apple warns you all and she gets all mangled up and burned in the face, and my cousin Michael Puler gets burned in the face trying to warn you all, So Perlita and you and your friends and your ghetto lifers and your country and western and your bitted fats, or whatever you want to call it, your carnies, if they don't know the history of an area and something was said in here a long time ago and you don't know, guess what? You might get an answer to your question as, why doesn't it work? Maybe. You want to be careful. Because I've also said before when I was in Colorado and here, I like things when they work correctly. And I don't like taking over domains of space or realities that are not mine. Or bullshit stories. So you might get an answer to your question, David. Poof. You might end up having to go to war, David, with your friends there and your team with people that are well more prepared than the group of you. So bear that in mind. Just bear that in mind, because there are people who are more invested. And I ain't gonna fight them, because I was already told it don't belong to me. And I go, okay. So I succumb to an authoritative power, so you want to be careful when you get the military and other people, police officers, firefighters, doctors, who know more about areas before Ghetto Life came through, or Elton came through, or the country and western, or the carnies, because I've had friends back in the past, and yes, whether you believe it or not, Perlita, who put in stuff to make sure they would pretty much win all the time. So you want to be careful if you don't know, because I ain't gonna fight them, because I wanted it done right the first time until people came and interfered. So be careful, Perlita, because there are people in the world that might have said in some stuff a long time ago that it's still working to this very day, and they made sure it would no matter what. And so when people end up mangled up that give you all warnings, like David Kent, me and Phil, you guys mangle us up, Kimberly gets mangled up, I get mangled up, Bailey or the Schwartzes get mangled up when Carney carved, Kathleen does. Be prepared, because there might be people who have, prepared more than, bitted fat and ghetto life and country and western and carny, because they never wanted it in the first place. So bear that in mind, especially when there's a lot of evidence of people getting burned in and nastified up for no reason. So be careful, Bernardo the Carney and Perlita, because some of that stuff that you professed that never happened, some of it did. And I have old friends that invested that didn't want to live in a shit pile with the All-American or the Antilla Joe or the Blue Boxes or those cults that your baldy Negro think is funny to dance around and stuff. So be careful when you hear names being called out, because there's already warnings around. And Perlita, I'm not going to fight him. I'm going to let him win, because I'm sick and tired of arguing with him and getting mangled up and tortured by his little deal. Because I know there's stuff that was said in even before you guys came through. So, it's up to him. Shh, all you want, Robo Knight. Because I'm trying to get a message across to you, Robo Knight and Dave and Perlita. You guys squashed another person's reality that you guys didn't care. You took it over. So be sure that you're right, as you profess that Bernard and them are the all divine, seeing perfected truth, Harry and Pickett Street, Jamaica Street. Because chances are, you're not. So be sure that you're right, Perlita, with your regime, because they're already acting sketched out anyway. which generally means they're not right. Your African Americans weren't right. The ghetto lifers weren't right. Country and Western weren't right. But you guys trampled on other people's stuff, even the carnies. Because there was a time before the carnies or the country and Western or the ghetto lives even moved in. And trust me, it did exist. And there are some men who made sure that they would win no matter what. So be sure your hope, because fat people and all that, if you're out of shape, you won't be prepared. So yes, you want to, trust me, Perlita, I had some friends that said in some stuff, and if they want to use it, they could probably do it. So if you interfere with some other people's relationships or whatever to put in something that's really not conclusive or take over a domain of reality, be careful, Stan and Joe, because your war might not be over when I'm gone. You might have to face some other people, and they may not like you too much.